What's happening, YouTube? Welcome back to Moose Preparedness. I'm Moose. And we are out on a daily walk because some little furball is having a 10 pier tantrum because we hadn't gone out yet. So for those of you who don't know, Great Pyrenees tend to be temperamental and stubborn, very stubborn. But if they don't like something, they have what they call 10 pier tantrums. Oh yeah, see, it's wet. This is what you wanted, knucklehead. And what they'll do is they become obstinate, they won't listen. They look at you like you've been, beating them because they look outside and you say no. You go to the front door, you say no. We even went outside, opened the door, walked out with him. He took one look at the rain and just hung out in our porch. I was like, no, I don't want to go out in that. But the second he thinks he gets to go for a walk, he's like, yeah, I'm totally fine with water now, no problem. I swear to God, he thinks he's a cat. Anyway, as you can see, it's wet. It's rainy. I'm currently rucking in between two thunder cells. We've got a tornado watch going on for a couple more hours. Not a ton of rain, but just enough to be miserable. So, like all good things, well, screw it, let's go. And it's a great way to test out gear. So this is a Rothcoat jacket. I've had it for several years now. I used to wear this when I was in Kansas and the weather would get stupid cold. And it's a little big, but it's pretty waterproof. See the water beating up on. Super tactical, cool, right? All the pockets and stuff everywhere. But it's actually really nice because I can keep devices. There's side pockets here. There's some ventilation pockets on the arm. So, like when you're rucking with a full pack or with body armor on or both, even if it's 30 degrees out, it's still, you get hot. When you get hot, you sweat. So having those little vents underneath the arm, frickin' awesome. Also, it's nice because you can conceal carry up in some of these pouches, which makes it fun. But great way to test out my gear. Oh, there's Dog Wonder. So the Eberly Stock pack I know is not waterproof. I do have a cover for it, but it's somewhere in the midst of packed things. So we'll just see how it holds up. And it gives me an excuse to take out the pack later and do a future video and show you kind of what I pack for my, hey, this is my bug out bag, if you want to call it that. That's probably the best call for it, because I ruck with absolutely everything that I would need for bugging out, minus I don't carry all the water all the time. And the reason being is because I carry a 3-liter pouch for water, and that goes on the outside, and that's about an extra 10 pounds worth of weight, which again, if you're working out, not a bad thing. But it's also, I've already got it dried out. Now I have water in reserves to fill it should I need to get out of Dodge quickly, and I have extra water for all the rest of the other camelbacks. But for those who've ever had one, they're a pain in the ass to clean. And if you don't get them all, you get mold in the tubes. You get mold in the water, the mouthpiece. So anyway, testing out some of that gear. Just normal pants. Yeah, I'm actually wearing pants today. Probably could have got away with shorts. So Go Ruck shoes. They're my new ones. They're about the 100-mile mark on them, give or take. I don't know if you got a good view of it or not. They're not as minimalist as my last pair. They're a little bit higher heel. Better tread for running and for off trail, but they are strictly workout shoes. They are not stuff that I would use for, end of the world. That said, they're a really good pair of shoes. I'm finding out though, they are not waterproof, despite the plastic-like tongue that a lot of people have complained about with this particular model, and despite being pretty well made, yeah, they're not waterproof on the top. So while my feet aren't drenched in cold water, they're also not, super uncomfortable. But then again, it's okay to be uncomfortable. We got to get used to that. I would bet you I'm the only idiot out working out today. Got a few strange looks as I was coming down to the trail from people passing by, like, what's wrong with that dude? Doesn't he realize it's raining? It goes back to that book that I recommended before called The Comfort Crisis. And the Comfort Crisis, basically, if I can give a brief synopsis, and I think I'll go into a further book review on it at some stage, is that we as a society or as people are getting way too used to being comfortable and don't like being out of our comfort zone. What is that? Why is that a bad thing? Well, if you don't do hard things, if you don't go out in the rain and you live your life, oh no, it's gross. It's not perfect hiking conditions. Oh, it's not perfect for this. It's not good for that. Oh, it's wet. Oh, it's muddy. Oh, it's whatever. You get complacent. You get used to making excuses on reasons to why you shouldn't do something. And especially with comfort. When was the last time you went out in the cold? And I mean cold. I have some very rough memories of being in various places pretty close to the Arctic Circle, where it was in the negative 10s, negative 20s. I had not slept in a couple of days, or not very well. It's hard to sleep in the cold like that, despite the gear. I had frost nip, which is the beginning stages of frostbite on all of my extremities, including my hands, which is why I frequently wear gloves, even if it's not that cold. And I caught a stomach bug from some food that we had eaten. Weird, right? So there I am. Oh, and there was a snowfall coming down. There I am, back up against a tree, and everything that I had ate is explosively leaving my body at a high rate of speed. And I see this beautiful red stag deer. I call it a red stag. It was a very large animal. It was out in Europe. And yeah, that was uncomfortable. That sucked. I realized that a lot of people don't have to do this. That was one of those low points where I was like, maybe the army isn't for me. Maybe this whole military thing, I could have it a lot better. When I got out of college, I was working in a nice job. I was getting on my way to being promoted to where I could have made a bit more money. I didn't have an office, but I worked in a major retail chain, and they were good folks. I was like, if I had stuck that out, I wouldn't have to do this shit. Eat crappy food, get deployed away from your families, because I was on a deployment for that. And, I wouldn't be here in the middle of nowhere, freezing all of my bits off in the snow with, again, I'll spare some of the unpleasantries, but you get my drift. I was not in a good way. But now I realize that that's a character building thing. Because now I go out in weather like this and I'm like, at least it's not that. At least I'm not, exploding all of my previous food over a tree in a blizzard where I can literally feel parts of my body that should not be exposed to air being exposed to some very cold air. So it's not as bad as that. I can handle this. And that's kind of what the book is about, and it's kind of why I'm doing the video today. How often do you put yourself in a situation where it's tough, where it sucks? You know it's gonna suck, and that's okay. I'm a huge fan of the 75 Hard Mental Fitness Challenge. I know I've mentioned it a couple times with Andy Frisella. If you haven't looked it up, take a look. It's not for everybody, but it's 75 days. And of the 75 days, you have to do an outdoor workout for 45 minutes every day. Rain, shine, does not matter. Like, period. You just got to do it. So there's like one rule or caveat to that, and that's like, hey, if it's loss of life, limb, or eyesight, like, don't do it. Be smart. But I remember, oh gosh, it was early January. It was in Kansas. I had just my plate carrier on, so heavy steel plates for weight, and it was minus 14 with the wind. And I had a beard at the time because I was on Christmas or holiday leave. Come on, bud. And my breath was freezing to my mustache as well as to my eyelids. And I'll see if I can't load a picture of it somewhere around here, so that way you can see it was no BS. And I'm telling you, you want to talk about cold? That's a cold you don't want. But it's good. It's good to get out. It's good to spend time outdoors when it's bad. Hey. Sorry, got stuff on the trail. Hey. Turn around. Come on. Hey. Let's go. Pardon that. One of the things I was looking at was looked like the river out there was flooded up, and my cat of a dog doesn't like high water. Hey. Hey, no, not going that way. Come on. But why not, Dad? We've already come this far. Might as well keep on going. Come on, Chuckles. Besides, as I said, I'm chasing in between two thunderstorms. And while I don't mind rucking in the rain, I don't mind walking around getting rained on. Is it miserable? It's not fun. But it's definitely one of those things that builds the bank. That's one of the things that, oh yeah, I was right. A little higher embankment. So normally this all right here is all beach water out. What are you gonna do, cat? Well, he's trying. Wipe away the camera real quick just to make sure. Sorry if the video quality sucks. I'm not one of them professional YouTubers yet. I'm just a guy who posts random stuff and random thoughts, because sometimes it's nice to have a real person's opinion on things. And maybe that's me. Maybe it's not. And that's okay. But at least you have the opinions of somebody who is not bought and paid for by whatever product they're trying to sell or whatever thing they're trying to hawk. Because I have 0 sponsors, I have 0 people to sell for, and I have 0 business. I'm just here trying to provide what I find to be useful content and maybe more down-to-earth appeal, because I'm just a normal dude doing normal things. And I say that as I'm out walking in a rainstorm with a 115-pound wannabe cat. So back to the 75-hour, back on topic. One of the things I liked about it is that you know it's going to suck. Every day, you know that one of the workouts is going to be outside. The other workout is also 45 minutes and it's somewhere inside. And you have to do it. It's part of the challenge. And the thing is that it's just your integrity. You're the only one who knows. You can click the button and say, yep, I completed the workout. But you know. And doing that program for that first 75 days, when I say it changed my perspective on life, I genuinely mean it changed my perspective on life. up until that point, I had been about 230 pounds. I'd been hurt multiple times in the Army. I'd broken my back. I tore my esophagus. I had a hernia. And I blew out both calves and had to have fasciotomies. If you don't know what those are, look those up. That was super fun. Anywho, I was content being a pudgy, hey, I'm still in the Army. I'm still making their minimum requirements. I was content on being that guy. Hey, I'm still passing. I'm still doing my things. And that program made me kind of realize, like, hey, I am skating. I am skating through life. I am not challenging myself at all. Why? Why am I not pushing myself? And for a lot of folks, I think it's because I was scared. Scared of what, you may ask? Scared of failure? I don't know if I'm making this better or worse. Either way, it's got a cool fog effect. There you go. See? Getting better at this whole special features thing. Inadvertently. But yeah, I was scared. Scared of failing. Scared of not living up to what I wanted to be as my potential. Losing weight is hard. And it's a lot easier to just eat the same shit, not work out. Because, hey, it's the status quo. It's already where you're at. You don't got to worry about it. You don't have to do anything else. You just exist. And, you know, take your fat burners from GNC, you know, go get your, now I guess it's Ozempic. We didn't have that at the time. Go get your semaglutide shots and just eat whatever the hell you want. Go on, big guy. Because it's a lot harder to change your personality and change what drives you and change your behaviors than it is to just say, screw it and stay the same. I think that's a lot of people's issues. So when I found that program, it sounded like it sucked. I was like, look, I'm in kind of a rut. I was in a very coveted school, and I was around some major league, I call them major league pipe hitters. One of the guys on my in my group, in my class, he was part of Delta for a while. I had guys who were part of the Special Operations Forces. I had one guy who was getting his doctorate. He was from the Air Force. He was wicked smart. And here I am just coasting through life. And yet I still got into the same school. So I'm like, huh, what have they got that I don't have? And maybe it's the being around a alpha, you know, rah kind of mentality. Or maybe it's just I got fed up with my own bullshit. I was like, I'm gonna try this out. And I tell you what, I had a lot of people say, hey, this is not a good time, don't do it. Don't do these things. Like, why would you be out in this kind of weather when you could be doing X, Y, or Z? Like, hey, you're here to get your schooling and get a master's degree on top of it. Why are you putting yourself through extra stuff that you don't need? And I felt like it was the right time, because if you're growing, let's just do it. Rip the Band-Aid off. Quit whining, quit complaining. Let's just go. Get it done. And I went from about just shy of 230 pounds, I think, when I started. And when I finished, 75 days later, I kept going until the Army, we have to do height and weight, where they see how tall you are, see how much you weigh, and then they have to, if you pass by their number, so like for me, it was 194 pounds, I think. That's passing. Then you don't have to get taped. If you do not pass, they tape you, and theoretically the tape test is supposed to determine how much body fat you have, and then you have to meet certain percentages, otherwise they kick you out. Or they put you on the Fat Boy program or the Army Body Composition program. Nice way of saying you're fat, get fixed, or else get out. But I went about an extra 2 weeks. What are you doing? That's the first time he's ever gone down there before. Now, let's see if he makes it across. Now what? Uh-oh. What's wrong, cat? Hey, you chose that life, dude. How you gonna fix it? Let's go. Come on. Come on. Come on, come on, come on. Let's go. Come on. Boom. Oh, God. Oh, dude, you are gonna be outside for a while. Ugh. Oh, that is fun. My wife is going to kill me. Well, you feel better? Was that fun? Oh my God. Way to go, Chucklehead. Anyway, sorry. I'm super ooh squirrel right now. Anywho, I went down from, again, 230 all the way down to 184 in that time. And I increased my score on our Army Combat Fitness test by about 150-ish points. But that really wasn't my goal. My goal was to try and drop weight and see how low I could get. So I was able to do that in 75 days. Would I recommend that for everybody? Hell no. That was brutal. But I learned a lot about myself because I put myself outside my comfort zone. Again, that class that I was taking, I was there to get my master's degree in while I was there. That class, I've been putting off my master's for, oh God, probably a decade, because I can't do it, too busy, got kids, got deployments. Somehow managed to get an associate's degree in gunsmithing in that time, but master's degree was like, I don't know. It was fear of failure. What happens if? And I think that prevents a lot of people from doing a lot of things. You know, I don't want to go out for a ruck in the rain, you know, because what happens if? Well, shit, as long as I don't get hit by lightning, I'm good to go. And if I do get hit by lightning, well, is what it is. I can't change it. My grandfather, when he was, I think he said he was 10, he was walking to school he was walking his bike home from school. Now we're talking, he was born in the 20s. And so we're talking Great Depression, all that. And, hey, come on, we'll go back up the trail. Flooded out parts. Again, not wearing waterproof shoes. But, what's up, buddy? Yeah, you had fun? Almost went for a swim. My grandfather was walking home from school carrying a shotgun because if he didn't shoot something on the way home, rabbit, prairie dog, whatever, they didn't eat. And so he was walking home from school, it started to rain, and he got hit by lightning. And I saw the scar. It's the most bizarre thing. I think I was probably 10 or 12 when he showed me the scar. But it was literally a line. Like, imagine a scar, but it was perfectly shaped, went right through, I think it was his right leg, and it hit the bike. Now, here's why I think it's slightly miraculous. He was carrying shotgun shells in his pocket. So if that lightning strike had been a little bit higher up and caught him in that pocket, it probably would have ignited the powder in the shells and they would have exploded, probably causing some significant and horrific damage. So that story stuck. So I'd really like to not get hit by lightning, but apparently my family tree, we're good with it. So what are you doing to get outside your comfort zone? What is it that you're trying to find and do that gets you out and about, puts you in a position where you have to either grow or fail and try again? I would highly encourage you, as everybody's starting to look towards the new year, to approach it with not I'm going to make a resolution, I'm going to be this. No, approach it as a challenge to yourself and say, what can I do? I will do this. Not I want to, not I'm going to, not I might, or I'm trying to. No. I will drop 20 pounds by this date. Okay, cool. And then stick to it. Come up with a plan on how to do it. I will read 2 books a month. I will get my finances in order. I will do things I've been putting off because it makes me uncomfortable. I will start lifting more at the gym. Because with doing that and taking that comfort and that challenge, you will be miles better off by the end of it. Even if you don't succeed, it'll teach you a lot about yourself. And in the end, that self-growth will transfer into a whole lot of other things. Anyway, kind of a weird meandering video, but I feel really passionate about the topic and trying to get better. Again, I didn't come up with the program, I just did the program. And it's something that I still do every day. Every day I have an outdoor workout for 45 minutes, at least. Mostly because I gotta take care of Chuckles here, my buddy. But it's stuck with me. And I think my health is significantly better for it. And it's impacted my wife and my kids. And it's helped me to go into other areas that made me uncomfortable. Like, as I said, taking some of those classes, those tactical shooting classes. I mean, you don't want to be that army guy that shows up and is worse than the people that are there, who are civilians who have never done anything before. I mean, how embarrassing is that? So, anyway, that's my story. I'm sticking to it. Please like, subscribe, send it around to people that might need to hear this. Just because I truthfully am trying to grow the channel to build a community of folks who feel comfortable talking about their wins and losses, and kind of working together and building that together, because at the end of the day, I'm not some famous person. I'm an ordinary person. I think too many people get that hero worship of, oh, look at this person, they can do it, what's wrong with me? But you could do it too. You just got to apply yourself. And I'm saying that both at you and to you, as well as to the guy I see in the reflection on this camera. Have a great day. Stay safe out here.